On Memorial Day, we take time to remember American service members who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. For the roughly 16 million veterans living in the U.S., many rely on help from the Department of Veterans Affairs. But for those living in one of the most remote parts of the nation, that help can be hard to come by. Adam Yamaguchi has the story.
Every week in the U.S. territory of Guam, these military veterans come together and pass around this paddle so each can speak.
I come back to this place to reflect on the service that I've done.
This is the only place that they sort of break down a little.
This is their therapy for physical and psychological wounds sustained in combat in Iraq and Afghanistan.
A few nights ago, I was thinking of suicide. I wanted to end my life because I'm worth more to my family dead than I am alive.
Not true, bro. We got you, bro. Thank you, bro. Hey, guys, it's unfortunate that there's a lot of other veterans that are out there in the same boat.
For people in Guam, military service is an economic opportunity. Of the roughly 170,000 residents who live here, 24,000 of them are military veterans. Despite that, there's only one small VA clinic on the island, with one psychologist.
We're 3 hours away from VA Philippines. We need to go that way. A lot better treatment. Imagine I walked through the door and I got an appointment. Hawaii, you gotta wait for months.
Residents say that Guam's status as a territory of the U.S. and its geographic distance from the U.S. mainland, a 15-hour flight from the West Coast, has resulted in fewer resources for veterans.
So there's an asterisk next to U.S. citizen.
That's a very good way of putting it. We are an asterisk, yes.
Ginger Cruz is a former Deputy Inspector General for Iraq and a Guam government official.
If that veteran moves back to Guam to be with family and support networks and requires some kind of special medical care, it is woefully thin on Guam for veterans who served side by side with other veterans who live on the mainland.
Due to the lack of services here, Roy Gamboa started the Battle Buddy Circle and the group Got Your 671.
Is, of course, our logo.
671 is the area code for Guam. He served 10 years in the Marine Corps.
There's a saying, right? Not every wound is visible, right? In the first couple of years, everything was coming out of our pockets. Since then, we've applied for and received a couple of grants to help keep our doors open.
He lost buddies when an IED detonated in Iraq. It nearly killed him. Doctors were ready to pronounce him dead. A miracle brought him back, but not in one piece.
It's a vicious cycle with constant nightmares. You have your depression, anxiety, anger, isolation. VA throws you drugs, medications, makes you feel like a zombie. You get off the medication, you can't sleep.
Who is everyone here?
So here's my buddy Frank helping veterans or helping people, and he didn't know how to ask for help himself. The demons got to him and he took his life, too soon.
It wasn't just Frank, but multiple soldiers who were lost this way that drove Gamboa to action. Veterans commit suicide at nearly twice the rate of civilians.
The world's better with you here.
But the vets we met are worried about the looming budget cuts to the VA. The agency has terminated 585 contracts as part of an ongoing audit. Gamboa worries his group could be next. All this at a time when Guam's strategic importance to America's national security rises once again. Its veterans told us they're feeling left behind.
I have PTSD, I have chronic depression.
We met Donovan Santos, a member of Got Your 671 and a former combat Marine. He's on the other end of the phone when vets need an ear. Santos understands what other vets are feeling. He still hears, smells, and feels the rumble of war.
I pretty much help those that fall through the cracks, that feel like they're alone.
You talk them off the ledge?
Yes, I'm there with them on the ledge. I'm there with them to pull them back, to catch them.
Where would you be without this?
Honest, I'd be dead. Sometimes I wish my brothers were here, and I wasn't.
But you're carrying on their fight.
Yep.
You're not alone.
Not alone. Roy Gamboa told us it's a fight they all hope to carry on long into the future.
You've probably saved lives. You've probably kept people from making that final decision.
And I'll keep going. We were willing to die for each other in combat. I refuse to believe that it was all for nothing.
For CBS Saturday Morning, Adam Yamaguchi in the U.S. territory of Guam.
We pour millions into educating and training soldiers. We pour millions into feeding them, into ensuring that they are in the war, the conflict. But there needs to be a post-war focus. I mean, they need reentry into society.
And it goes beyond, and something like PTSD goes well beyond a year after combat. And as you see with these men, it requires them doing it for each other as well.
Yes, absolutely.